Hello.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for joining us. We got a nice fireplace in the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to, in case you didn't know what shed you walked into, it's the one that talks about stuff.
It's the Talking Shed channel.
The Talking Shedheads, yeah.
The Shedheads podcast. Number 50. Number 50. It's a big deal. We're talking
There's
about
50 of these things.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of talking that we've just done about shit.
Yeah. And so I thought we should do some sort of milestone.
It's time. It is time for a big boy number. Comes big boy pod. Not really. I don't know how long this will take, actually.
It'll be shorter, I think.
Probably.
You guys know.
Because it's a more, some more structured type of thing.
Yeah.
Where we're presenting a list and then just rough ideas, and then there you go. It sends you on your way. You're like, aha.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to take us too long to discuss each of these things today. As you can see from the title, we will be discussing our favorite bands at this moment.
For the moment.
Yeah.
Bound to change, obviously. Yeah, and I totally didn't just make my list right here, like right before recording.
If you look at your if you look at your list and you're confused by some of the bands that made it, then you might be like, yeah, this will definitely change down the line.
I'm not confused. I mean, I know it's gonna change because like I'm still discovering a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like there's a few artists, bands and all that right. I was like, oh, I'm not sure to put it on here because I haven't checked out enough of their stuff.
Let's make that clear also. Yeah, it's not just bands. I have to remember that. It's
bands and artists.
Artists, yeah. So, perfect. Musical artists. So, why don't we get into it?
You sound like you were going somewhere, but you just trailed off. I'm like,
well, because I realized I was like, artists. Well, I'm not putting Van Gogh on here, and it's not because he's not an artist.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Because he's not a musical artist.
It's just not classified as, a songwriter, musician, producer. Yeah,
right.
Independent musician. There you go.
This is exciting, and it's nice and easy. We didn't really have to do much prep work at all.
I only had to I kind of wrote these down in randomish order, and I only had to switch two around, and it's like, yeah, I guess this is a list. I guess this is how it stands as my favorites.
Right. And we're gonna do it, but we're going to do it a little differently, I think, because I told you I'm planning to share, my favorite album from each of these or albums, and maybe I'll probably name some songs that I think are particularly great too. And you might just say what you're going to say. So
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably going to, I don't know if there's going to be much overlap at all.
Yeah.
But we will know each other's bands and all that. Be able to open that up a bit more.
There might be one overlap. So, and maybe two. So
yeah, but we'll still be able to talk on each other's and all that.
Yeah,
I don't know them. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a hot potato podcast.
I didn't write down the album, but I guess I could offhand do it.
Yeah, you could just be like, I like this one.
I wouldn't I don't know. I didn't want to do that because there's still a lot of albums that I could check out that I could recommend more later on. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, usually when I get into a band...
I haven't discovered enough is what I'm saying.
Usually when I get into a band, I do a deep dive into their discography, so I'm pretty confident with the ones I've chosen for every band here.
Right, and yeah, you'd be able to do that.
Yeah. So, cool. Let's get into it. I think you've started when we've done 10s in the past. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
You can probably start because you probably have more than me.
More? Oh, I didn't do honorable mentions.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so this is just a flat 10.
Yeah, believe it or not, I didn't even think of that. So
I wrote
you've
down,
got some. So
I've got
go for
some extra, just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, so go for it.
I mean, we don't have to.
No, yeah, if you've got honorable mentions, then you should put those out there.
All right, time to be the first questionable person in terms of taste, I guess.
Go.
Also, my list may seem underwhelming, just as a disclaimer.
Okay. Mine too.
No, you're more the band person. I'm more like, oh, I dig this. I'm gonna stick with this. Anyways, this is no particular order in the honorable mentions. Weezer. Let's just get it out.
Yeah, they can't be in the top 10.
They're not. No.
Oh, is that it?
I mean, they're in there.
I thought that was your only honorable mention. I thought that was hilarious. Weezer. Okay, done.
Okay, done. Anyways,
onto the list.
I don't need to speak more on that. Yeah, I'll let the audience interpret what I think of them.
I don't think I could. I don't know. They wouldn't be towards the top of my honorable mentions list either, but they have some stuff that I really love. So that's what I mean.
That's why they're not my favorite.
Yeah,
that's why they didn't make it. Because
they made some favorite albums for sure.
It's one of the bands where it's like, oh, I'll keep an eye on them, see what they do. Like check out maybe a new thing. Like give it a little taste. Yeah. Chances are it's like, what the fuck? Like, why is this Chinese restaurant doing American food?
Right.
I don't know.
You talking about when you get a hamburger at the local Chinese place?
Yeah, or if you get an egg roll at fucking Jack in the Box. Like, why? Why would you do that?
Stop appropriating the restaurants.
And that's the thing. That's everyone's experience with this band, too.
Why is Weezer appropriating these genres?
You know what? Weezer is Jack in the Box. It's the Jack in the Box of restaurants.
Yeah, because they have that one really good burrito.
They have one thing that like everybody likes, and then the other person can have the same thing and be like, this is shit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Honorable mention.
It'll give you diarrhea and make you throw up. Anyways. Yeah, that's Weezer. I just find that funny. You don't have anyone that you want to throw out?
I mean, if you want to go through yours, just do your list of honorable mentions. I'll look for
I only got like two others.
Okay.
Next one's Nirvana.
Fair. Cool.
Again, fair. Yeah. Good stuff. Haven't checked out all their things, so
I've recommended them, and I forgot I did that. I forgot. I need to watch your rec.
I'm kind of like dispersing some bands as like I've like this many albums from them, so I'm gonna check out more of them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like if they've
only got a few.
If one doesn't hit, I'm like, do I think I should give them another chance? Because like from what I heard before, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's like another hit, then I'm gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't gotten around to like the other two Nirvanas because not many people talk about them so much.
Mm-hmm.
Not really looking forward to it though.
Which ones didn't? Oh, Incesticide and Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it doesn't like make me go, oh shit, need to check those out. Like in particular, at least.
Sure.
I probably will at some point. Go through another Nirvana phase. They come and go.
Gotcha.
Looking forward to when we talk about next week's pod though. The acoustic version album.
Mm-hmm.
The next honorable mention, King Crimson.
Right.
Because I've only heard a couple of their albums so far, but they were both like really good. Just haven't gotten around to more of them. Just because I've heard like later King Crimson kind of just is a little eh.
Oh.
I've still got like a couple albums that I've seen that I'm like,
they're definitely known.
Check this out.
Kind of for the one that we talked about.
Yeah, and that's their first album is the thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Weezer's Blue album sort of deal.
Right.
Apparently, I don't know.
Probably doesn't have quite the slope.
I do want to get into. I guess that's the whole honorable mentions thing. Is like I want to get more into these, not Weezer.
Not you. No.
But yeah, just haven't gotten around to it yet, and interest isn't like, super priority, I guess.
Right.
Of the other albums, but I do like. They're on my radar, just kind of far out there,
Mm-hmm. You'll get there.
But yeah, that's pretty much that's it.
So I just opened an old playlist, and I'll just go through and name like a bunch and not say much about any of them. MXBX, they're cool. Against Me. Let's see. Bouncing Souls. Definitely want to mention them. So I guess it's good. I do have a tattoo of them, of theirs.
Yeah, definitely enjoy Bouncing Souls and Against Me. Probably Bouncing Souls more though.
Mm-hmm.
In my taste.
Descendants, of course, classic. See, most of this shit is just gonna be punk stuff, and a lot of my lists will be too. But I'm getting more varied, which is why I know next time I do this type of list, it'll be pretty different.
Yeah.
Frank Turner, gotta mention
Yeah,
Frank.
of course.
Bad Religion.
I thought about him, but
Right.
it didn't like fully like click for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I still definitely like enjoy listening to his stuff. From
What
time to
you've
time.
heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Religion, of course, Lagwagon, No Effects, Pennywise, just a bunch of punk stuff like.
Bad Religion is really fucking fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I dig the fuck out of them.
If you know like the kind of music I'm talking about, you could probably just fill in the blank of what other bands you could put here.
Yeah.
So, Less Than Jake,
They're really related.
the good one.
I never mind when Less Than Jake comes on like a playlist for radio or whatever.
Right.
Like when Spotify throws in a mix.
Rancid's good. I don't listen to it much, but they're fun to see live. Rise Against,
really good.
they were good. We saw them.
I don't listen to them enough to like.
Mhm.
I guess there'd be honorable mentions at least.
I do
'Cause, I
like.
definitely dig their stuff.
Yeah, I particularly like. Siren Song of the Counterculture and Revolutions Per Minute. Unwritten Law. That one's a good one to mention.
Yeah, that one too. I've only heard the one album.
Yeah, and we saw them live.
You didn't recommend me to like check out other ones because like Black Album's kind of unique in its own way.
Yeah, the Black album from them is definitely my favorite. I like Elva too.
It's a really solid album, I think.
I think it's more consistent than Elva for me. Anti-Flag, great live. I don't listen to him a bunch. Like, so yeah, I guess I'll just go with that for honorable mentions for now. And then we can.
Cool.
Oh, brand new.
A lot of punk stuff. Oh, brand new's in your honorable mentions.
Why not?
I don't know. They didn't make it into your 10.
No. Like again, there are some bands here that might make it on an albums list, but not bands list. I guess. Yeah. Because it's quite a different list for me, and maybe not for you, so that'll be cool.
I couldn't put them in favorite bands. Maybe it's a good thing you didn't.
For brand new?
Yeah, at least surrounding controversies.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Wait, are they on your?
They're not allowed to be your favorite.
Were you hinting they're on your list?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I couldn't put them on there. I love the albums I've heard of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't put them on your honorable mentions either.
Yeah, no.
But you like 2 of their albums at least.
Yeah, I enjoy their stuff.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, I'm ready to get onto the list. But you did start with the honorable mentions, so now I think you should just go and do your 10.
Me go in and do my 10.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here it comes, guys.
Here
Number
it comes.
10. I feel like it's a disservice to have it this low, but they're not even on your list. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. I just put Hendrix, but like I guess that's what his band is called. So.
Right.
But yeah. Cool, on to you.
This is where you elaborate. I like it. You elaborate on your honorable mentions.
I think he's really consistent with the albums that I've heard, and it goes without saying that he's like a master at guitar, and just the tones that he gets from it.
Mm-hmm.
Really slick stuff, and I love his singing. Really blues inspired.
I didn't know you've heard much of him beyond the Electric Ladyland.
I think that's my favorite of the album, and I guess the one that I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And I did.
You did.
No, I've heard Cry of Love, Axis, Bold as Love as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, the latter's probably like my second favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still really fun to listen to. He also uses a lot of like kind of ambient stuff.
Right.
And Cry of Love is a lot more like, I think it's more like a live performance. You get like sounds of the crowd and everything. Gives off the real live performance and kind of realistic aspect to it.
The real Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hell yeah.
And I mean, also the other members too. Fucking forgetting their goddamn names. They're on the tip of my tongue. Hold on.
And I think your favorite song of his was Voodoo Child.
Voodoo Child that's really great. That one's gotta be my favorite. And it's also, I don't know, it's the longest song too.
Voodoo
I've heard
Chile.
from him. I definitely like the more progressive stuff he's going. This is definitely like, pinnacle of psychedelic rock.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I have to pull up the fucking Wikipedia because I'm that much. This is why they're at 10, by the way, because I'm not. I didn't look them up. I looked into like Hendrix's history.
I literally, when
But,
I
like-
discover a band, I look into them.
Yeah, you're
You-
you're more about that, and I'm not.
Yeah, you put it off for a little while. If you do it all, like you gotta be really into what they do to look into
Yeah,
the
at
members and stuff.
At first, I pretty much like I know their names. They're all on the tip of my tongue.
Like I'll listen to a song, but I kind of like that, and then I'll start reading about the people and where they're from, and
Yeah, I look at like, what other albums do they have, and like which one am I probably gonna check out?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell. Yeah, they're also amazing musicians. Like they're pretty much on caliber of Hendrix's playing in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely Mitch Mitchell's on the drums is doing some pretty solid stuff. My dad also got to jam with them too.
Yeah,
He said Mitch was a really nice guy, but Noel wasn't.
yeah.
Total opposite.
I think you
I find
did.
that funny.
That's funny. I think you did say that when we talked about the album too.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I mean, that's all I had to say about Hendrix, I think.
Great.
Yeah, I think I got it out there.
Fuck. I'm gonna throw in an honorable mention. Bayside. Gotta.
Bayside.
Bayside.
I
Good
know
shit.
you've been listening to more of their stuff.
Good shit from what I've heard. I haven't heard much of it. That's why. I'm doing good. Not really guitar lessons, but I'm seeing their guitarist Jack every week, for sessions. So
Cool stuff.
he's a real cool dude, and shout out to him.
Oh, that's why. That's why you had to put Bayside.
He needs it.
Now he's hurt because you listed all these other bands before Bayside.
No, it's just
Now you're gonna pile more on top of it.
No, I was going through my old list of
buddy.
I was going through an old playlist, and that would explain why they weren't on there because it's old. So great. All right, my number 10. I don't know if you expected them to be on my list or not.
I didn't know.
Green Day.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Bayside.
No.
I'm surprised they're kind of this low because you grew up with them.
Green Day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not always like the best indicator. A lot of the stuff I grew up on is actually in my honorable mentions. But Green Day is one of the earliest bands I listened to. The other ones I didn't even put on here at all, like Blink and My Chemical Romance and stuff. But yeah, we did a whole madness bracket on Green Day.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. It's a bad episode, don't watch it. But
Damn.
but you got our thoughts and opinions on them. Well, I mean, we spent most of that episode listening to songs we didn't remember.
Yeah, I know, but what a disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just being real with everyone. My favorite album from them is Nimrod, but it's not the one that won our bracket. I guess that's all I'll say. And that's because we were trying to be like more go with what we think is the best, what most people would agree on. So yeah, I would actually say most of their discography is solid until about 2012, because that's when the trilogy hit.
when the trilogy attacked.
In my opinion, they never really came back from that.
And then so far. And then Revolution Radio.
They haven't. Yeah.
Which is decent, really.
You like it a bit more than I do, I think. I think it's their best output since the trilogy, but it was right after the trilogy. So now they're kind of...
It's passing, but barely.
Yeah, now with Father of All...
And the Father of All is just fucking garbage.
Yeah. It's sad, because
it sucks when a band you like sucks.
Yeah, up in...
Franchise, anything.
I was listening to them when 21st Century Breakdown dropped, so... I remember Green Day before they started to suck. Even though a lot of people think like, oh, they sold out and started to suck with American Idiot. Well, I disagree with you. So that's that. I dig it. Dig most of their discography. Also, obviously, I'd recommend pretty much anything up until the trilogy. Emphasis on warning, it's underrated.
It's not underrated.
It is. It's just not when you're in the Green Day subreddit. But yeah, I was memeing.
There are many a good hits on there. If anything, Insomniac is underrated.
Yeah, people don't talk about it, huh? So that's that. What's your number 9?
Cool. I'm surprised they're that low though. So not expecting some top tier shit coming at me.
I was surprised they're on my list. So
really, okay, yeah. Get ready, guys. Get ready from some top tier hipstery bullshit.
From you?
From both of us, really.
Okay.
Well, my number 9 is not hipstery. I guess it's Billy Talent.
Same.
Cool.
I thought we might have crossover on these two.
Damn, I'm surprised we got them in the same spot.
Maybe another. No, I actually thought if you had Billy Talent, it would probably be here. So that's pretty neat.
Nice.
What do you got to say about Billy Talent?
I just love the shit that they have going down. Like, a lot of guitar riffy shit happening.
Oh yeah.
All them syncopated rhythms, very punchy.
Oh yeah.
I love the singer too. It's the right kind of like trebly yelly type to really get me all amped for listening to them.
Not about the singer, about the guitarist. Yeah, he loves to do those bluesy, jazzy chords, with that distortion on, and in songs that are kind of, alternative punky and metal-ish on the later stuff. And it kind of creates a cool tone that they got going on. The Canadian rockers.
Yeah, and it's almost like the cool thing is the singing. It's like when it gets melodic, like it has its own tone, but like yelling is like the same thing, but kind of has more. It's gonna sound like silly to say. It's got more like amp behind it. You know, it doesn't like break apart when they're yelling like a lot of other singers do. So it's like it's very seamless for him to like be melodic and then like yelling.
Right. So yeah, with Billy Talent, why they landed low is if they only like put out the first like 3 albums, and they'd have like a pretty flawless discography from me, in my opinion. But I'd say the last 2 or 3 releases, they've gone a bit more like in a metallic direction that doesn't do it for me quite as much. I prefer the kind of more punk alternative stuff of the earlier years. And I think that's mostly what you prefer too, because I don't know if you've even heard the Dead Silence or Afraid of Heights or any of that stuff. But
no.
I do think that it's solid. It's just not my cup of tea. So
I haven't gotten around to them. I'm pretty content with the ones I've heard.
Yeah, 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And 2 is my favorite of their albums.
I think 2 is probably better, like as a punk album. I think I would recommend 3 though.
Really?
Yeah. I dig 3.
You had a change of heart.
Yeah, I dig 3.
I remember you telling me that 3 was or something like that, and I was like, "What? 3's great."
It's a lot more different than to 1 or 2, honestly.
It's still like enough that it's like totally my thing.
It's still Billy Talent, but it's doing different things. Some of the songs can be like repetitive on 3, but they're really really varied in what's going on with guitar and melody. Even like some songs are slower on others. From that album, my favorite song is maybe Saint Veronica, which had to grow on me. Because it was definitely not an initial favorite. It was kind of one that was like, this one. But like halfway through that song, it kind of just goes into this. There's some kind of effect, like fuzzy effect on the guitar, and then it fucking breaks out and goes insane for the rest of the track, and it's some good shit. But yeah,
2 and 1 are pretty close for me, and 3 is maybe just a smidge behind those two. But I think they're almost all pretty equal. So
Cool stuff.
great shit. Nice. So we both had a number 9. So I guess
That's
now,
our both number 9s.
yeah. So you
Number
can
9.
you can go ahead and do your number
9.
number 8.
Number 8. Oh fuck! You broke the sequence. Oh Jesus!
So
Excuse me, frog in my throat. The hell! Decided to go and leap out. Well, I mean, we're gonna get a repeat now. We just talked about it. Green Day.
yay. There might be like
Yeah.
one other band that's on both of our lists. So
No, Green Day's awesome. I
Yeah.
fuck with them, even though they're like 3 chords and really simple.
mhm.
Just the Billy Joe has like a lot of expression with his singing.
Mhm.
Like you can tell he's like kind of like showing it off, like one of the faster paced like songs,
Yeah.
you know. You can tell he's just really enjoying it.
There's some of that faster paced stuff on Nimrod.
They're also like very memorable in terms of melody.
Oh yeah.
Like it's really easy for them, like in the pre-trilogy days of them just accidentally shitting out a hit, or even like underrated hit and all that.
Mhm. I mean, I think I don't know what your favorite is. I thought it was American Idiot.
My favorite album of theirs, I think, is Dookie.
Okay.
Definitely gotta be Dookie.
Dang.
I'm more inclined to listen to that and just fucking jam.
Right. No,
But I do love me American Idiot.
Oh wait, no, your favorite's the live album.
Oh
Bullet-
yeah,
Bullet in the
Bullet in the Bible. I'm probably gonna change it to Dookie now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Screaming England and live version of King for a Day, pretty good.
Yeah.
They're worth the Bullet in the Bible's worth checking out just for that.
Not really any misses from Kerplunk all the way to 21st
I would recommend
century to me.
Kerplunk if you want more like kind of a raw Dookie.
Yeah.
Like yeah, just if you want Dookie to raw dog you. If you want more catchy shit though, move on over to American Idiot.
Really. I
I think Dookie's like a good starting point.
I do find a lot of the Kerplunk songs have the catch.
They do got catch, but I'm talking, and
Yeah.
the quality's not as good,
Mhm.
but it is very, very punk like in a lot of things, like a lot of songs, like One for the Razorbacks.
Oh yeah, that of course
But it's a
Christie
great song.
Road, 80. Yeah. Great. And we talked about them twice.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think one more. I'd be surprised if you know who isn't on here. So, great. My number 8.
Yeah.
I put AFI at number 8.
I'm not surprised. You have you're wearing the hoodie of theirs like right now.
Yeah, and I've got a tattoo
And
of
you got a
theirs
tattoo.
also.
I like how the hoodie is. That's the thing that jumps out, not your tattoo.
Yeah, I do usually have the tattoo covered up, and it's one of the most like indistinct ones because this logo is very rarely used. It's the bat.
It kind of looks like the Skyrim logo, honestly.
It's not actually called a bat, but I don't know what they call it. The Nephilim. Nephilim? I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, then you can probably guess what my favorite era of theirs is, which is their
The
kinda
early shit.
horror punk era in specific, with my two favorite being The Art of Drowning and Black Sails in the Sunset. And I know all their albums from Answer That and Stay Fashionable up through December Crash Love. Then and then after that, the last couple I've kind of fallen off. Not that I don't like a few songs here and there, but I guess I don't know. It's weird. Whenever I discover a band and then they put out new albums, I kind of fall off and just listen to whatever they put out before I started listening to them. That's like just a weird personal phenomenon, I think. So worth mentioning. But
Interesting.
I have also just
We kind of all have those with music.
yeah. I have known AFI like forever though. I remember December Underground coming out in 2006 on 666. And I remember getting Crash Love. And I think that's a really good album. That one's underrated. But my favorite stuff is the goth punk era, the horror shit. Oh, and the All Hallows EP. That's also from that era.
Yeah, I fucking love Sing for Sorrow.
Sing the Sorrow.
I mean.
Yeah.
Sing for Sorrow.
That one's great too. I think that one's probably the most universally liked.
It's so theatrical.
Yeah, that one probably, yeah. Because December Underground went too much in this direction that lost a lot of people. Like, they had Miss Murder, but he started doing he didn't. He did that on Sing the Sorrow. They started doing the electronic aspect a lot more, so where it was only really used in Death of Seasons on Sing the Sorrow, and on the Despair Factor, on The Art of Drowning. And I think that might have lost a lot of people in like the more mainstream appeal, because people care about that, I guess. But yeah, I've always liked Davey Havok as a vocalist. I think there's something special about those early albums that I would fucking kill to see live, and it sucks that I'll never do that now, because even when they do play older stuff, now they play it a lot slower and the energy's not quite there. If you watch like old YouTube videos, it just looks insane. It's like, fuck, I was born 10 years late. I'm one of those people now. Great. Yeah, your
You're
turn.
one of those people.
Yeah.
Also, I love the song Bowling.
Rolling Balls.
Rolling Balls.
That's hilarious.
Bowling is my life.
Bowling in my life, and it'll always been my dream. Yeah, they went from like making joke songs like that about cutting your dick off to join the women's bowling team to becoming like this extremely depressive
Balls will roll.
Yeah. Extremely emo band. So it's kind of funny. Great. Number 7 for you.
My number 7. Why the fuck did I open Spotify? That would be the smart thing to do. This might shock you. Might give you whiplash. Streetlight Manifesto.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's too low, but yeah.
That was just too low. Yeah.
But yeah.
They just haven't done anything. Do something, please.
Soon.
I need to put them this low because that way it distracts me from the pain.
Okay.
There's no other album from them.
Yeah, this is obviously spoiler, the only other one that's going to be shared, I think. So.
Yeah. I definitely I love the shit of the 3 albums that they did.
Yeah.
Keysby too. I can go for some Keysby like every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Though I wouldn't like go for it or anything.
Sure.
It's not quite my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I listen to the shit out of them. James can attest to that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just letting you go because
I just kind of want more. I just need more from them. That's why they're this low.
I'll be obviously mentioning them again later. So
yeah, I mean, fantastic melodies in the horns. The whole other league, really, in terms of like ska music.
Mm-hmm.
If you can be inclined to call it that. Yeah, good shit. My favorite album that I probably want to recommend is somewhere in the between.
Sitba.
But probably, I mean, that's my favorite. I probably want to recommend Everything Goes Numb.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Went Numb. Whatever. Which one
goes for the album?
Goes, yeah. I gotta get it mixed up with the song.
Awesome.
But yeah, I would probably recommend that. It's a good starting point. Overall, super solid. It's just all their albums are fucking solid.
I agree.
Cool.
Okay. My number 7 is Pup. Yes. PUP. Pathetic use of potential.
I would put them in my what's it honorable mentions.
Honorables. Yeah.
They're fun to listen to.
Great band. Sure. Hasn't had a misstep yet. In my opinion, I think they're solid, all three of the albums. With my least favorite being The Dream Is Over, but my favorite is actually still the self-titled. But Morbid Stuff has kind of put them on the map for a lot greater of an audience, it seems. With Fantano even giving it an 8. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Particularly on the self-titled, I love. Let's see. Dark Days was one of the first ones that got me into them, as well as Yukon.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Songs.
Great stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I don't have the track list open or anything, but I love some of the ones that the band hates.
I love Reservoir.
Yeah, that one's the fucking banger.
That one, dude, that's such a fun song to run to.
Mm-hmm. But I guess they really don't like Never Try, and that's one of my favorites. And I guess I haven't heard them say anything about Cul-de-sac, but I love that one too.
Cul-de-sac is good too. Yeah.
Slow and moody, and their gang vocals are unmatched.
Yeah. I love the unique type of drumming that they do.
Oh yeah. That he said was inspired
punk.
by video games.
Yeah, apparently.
That's pretty.
I always remember that, and I still don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's pretty neat.
I don't fully get that, but sure.
What am I thinking of? Is that Mabu?
Mm.
Mabu. That one's good too. I love that whole album. I'm kind of just reviewing the first album, but
yeah.
I dig a lot of Morbid Stuff too, and actually one of my favorite songs would still be Sleep in the Heat, which does come from The Dream Is Over. And, DVP and shit like that.
Yeah.
Pine Point. Pine Point's underrated. Good closer. Love hearing a clean guitar on a Pup album every now and then. And Scorpion Hill. It's good shit. So I guess I don't have much to say beyond that. Mo showed me them a few years ago, so they're newer to me. And I've gotten to catch them live twice now.
Nice.
And it was fucking fantastic. I want to see them as much as I can when concerts are a thing again. Great. Look forward to their output.
A standout.
Yeah, with nothing bad so far. I'm looking forward to good shit. They're one of the bands that breaks that trend I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
Because Morbid Stuff came out after I knew them, and I dig it. Go for it. Number 6.
Oh, boys. It's the boys. Queen.
Hooray. Queef.
I love how you just had to follow up with hooray.
The
awesome.
boys.
They're number 5.
The boys. Oh, they're number 5?
It's a normie band. What? Yeah, this is number 5, isn't it?
No, it's number 6.
Oh,
Did you give your number 5?
Oh, no, this is 6.
Okay.
No, I have the right band. I just had the wrong number.
Okay.
I mean, do I need to talk about Queen? Y'all know it.
Well, what do you?
You guys should listen to their shit, listen to their albums. Y'all know Bohemian Rhapsody. Y'all know who Freddie Mercury is and how fucking awesome he is.
What's your
Y'all know Brian
experience
May.
with Queen?
You know Roger Taylor. You know the bassist, the other fella. He's the Ringo.
Is he?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm watching my
Yeah,
cats.
you got hypnotized. I was just waiting. For you to snap yourself out of it.
No, I'm waiting also for you to talk about what you like about Queen.
Well, we talked about Innuendo.
We did.
I
know you like that one. That's your favorite one, huh?
Probably.
Right.
Again, the Queen is the gray area because it's like I can recommend you probably 3 albums.
Right, but you said you said to me that they're not really an album band for you.
Before, yeah. Not for me. Well, just because like their hits are like standouts for a reason. You know, not every song is gonna hit like that. Some get close and some do. And you'll find that, but their albums are really solid.
Right.
No, I probably recommend people listen to jazz maybe or news of the world.
I forgot the Ann album called Jazz.
Yeah.
Queen's
and
good.
then-
Listen to Jazz.
And then if you already heard those and you can make your way over to the game, obviously there's Night at the Opera and Day at the Races. If you want to, I mean, there's just so many places you can just start.
Awesome.
They're all pretty solid. From what I heard, there's like a few other ones, especially like the later ones, like The Miracle, things like that. Queen 1 and 2, I didn't really enjoy as much. It seemed like they're still ironing things out. They're pretty scruffy. At least there are a few songs that were.
Scruffy.
But yeah,
Awesome.
that's my thoughts and experience and sharing and all that.
Great. Number 6 for me then is the Menzingers.
Of course.
Yeah, they made it on my list.
Of course they did, because you listen to them nonstop.
That's why I have to put them here. I feel like any band I can listen to that consistently for that long has got to be here. My cats are biting each other. And yeah, it was a good like year and a half or so of Menzingers that you had to endure. And still funny.
Still dig 'em.
Still funny enough, I didn't get into everything they've put out. I was mostly listening to the same 3 albums, which are
Hey, that's what I do.
the middle ones. I know they used to have a really like heavier punk sound that I've heard a few times. I was like, oh, cool, that's interesting. I'm gonna keep listening to these, because the first album sounded like Anti-Flag to me. Which is cool, but it's so different. And shouldn't be surprising if anyone is a fan of them. My favorite is On the Impossible Past. Though I did discover them through After the Party, I think, the song.
Mhm.
And I love that song. The rest of that album hit me at first, and then for me it's like kind of sunk to my least favorite of the ones that I listen to from them. And I can't really pin why, but I actually enjoy Rented World more, which I guess more people see that one as the slump. But I dig most of the shit on there. Obviously, I don't want to be an asshole anymore. But like Nothing Feels Good Anymore is a great song. What the fuck is that one called? I can't think of Rodent. Rodent's the name of that song. Love that. And love Transient Love. Where Your Heartache Exists. Like some of my all-time favorites of theirs come from that one. And yeah, After the Party, I mostly love that song, like the title track, and I think the last song, Livin' Ain't Easy. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Seen them a couple times live now too. Good. One thing that bums me out when we see them live is they play the Obituaries a lot slower, and I'm like, oh man, because like I just want to be moving to that shit. But that's a fucking great song from On the Impossible Past, which again is my favorite album. Good Things Live is one of the best releases of tension ever, I feel like, because you can just scream your lungs out saying I've been having a horrible time. And that's that. Casey's
they got a lot of songs that get in your head.
Yeah, Casey's a great song. Burn After Writing is a great song. Gates. I'm just gonna name the whole album if you let me. So that's that.
You're pretty much gonna do that already.
That's great.
Cool.
You're
Now
number
we're in
5.
the top 5s.
Yeah, top 5.
Guys, here's the moment where you can take one.
Hooray.
Type your favorite band or whatever. Your number 5 specifically.
So far,
Don't give us your number one. Give us your 5. That's what we care about.
yeah. I was gonna say so far, at least for mine, we haven't talked about any of these bands' albums on the podcast, so that's funny. Yours we have.
Yeah, you're gonna get a few of them. I mean, a lot of the ones I recommend are my favorite albums.
Yeah, and a lot of mine you've heard because we were always
Or at least
driving in
one
my
of,
car
you know?
together for years. So
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So I know what you listen to. I know what's coming.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to the big boy stuff. Really, next top tier level. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Haha, you got a real ad break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that just so I can go pee. Just
I
fill
should
that
just
up.
leave the break in at one of these.
Just that much time.
I
of
gotta
dead
pee.
air.
Silence for like 2 minutes.
Silence for 5 minutes. Number 5, Genesis.
Hooray!
For people who don't know.
All of them. Hooray!
Yeah. Oh, so that was distracting. They're 70s, I think so. I don't even know. Great. Yeah, they're in my top 5. They're an old prog rock band, and I think they're definitely one of the most talented prog rock bands I've heard. Like in terms of all the members, all the things that are happening, going down and stuff.
Yes.
Most definitely. Phil Collins. Do I need to say more? You guys know Phil Collins?
I know Bill Cosby. Yeah.
Bill Cosby. not his brother Bill. Phil.
Okay.
No, yeah, him, Peter Gabriel too, doing some good stuff on
Both equally.
on the fucking Selling England by the Pound.
Yeah, both equally popular names.
Yeah, and we talked about that too. That was my entry into them. And it was kind of like tough to kind of grasp things that were happening. Like once I actually got to listen to it and I wanted more out of it. So I got into Lamb Lies Down, and that one I'd probably say is my favorite album of theirs.
England?
I'm in a bit of a
Selling England?
No, the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
Okay.
Their double record.
I remember the name.
I think that album just went out consistently hits. Like really great songs on there.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it just kind of flows in like with each other.
Right.
I don't know. That's one of those. I don't know if it's a concept album or not. I don't know what people would say about it. They've got quite a bit of history. That's all I know. So I've been kind of holding off on getting into that. So far, I want to make my way through the rest of their albums. You might be getting some more Genesis on here.
Cool.
On the podcast. So that's why I needn't say more.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, there were a few albums where Peter Gabriel had left the band at that time. Phil Collins took over his vocals and some of the writing maybe, but like a lot of people were like saying that I was the unit of Genesis, but there's some still solid stuff. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like what people were saying with, oh, Green Day still out, American Idiot. It's like, they still kicked for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm scared of getting to one that's like, it's not as good.
Yeah.
But man, they're very fun to listen to.
Right. They have a bunch of albums.
They have, they've got quite a few. Just Phil Collins' way and Peter Gabriel, the way they sing is just, it's and how the vocals are. It's like it's very disjointed in rhythm, but like it's working in tandem with the instruments, so it almost like keeps you going. Like they're going to give you like, I don't know, such a interesting type of a listening experience.
Which one sang the England?
Peter Gabriel, I believe. They're really hard to distinguish their voices.
Peter Griffin.
I still haven't gotten adjusted to it. But yeah, they got some neat ass sounds too.
Mm-hmm.
Great guitar tones on there that are also in Selling by the Pound.
Oh yeah.
And they often get very grandiose and big and shit and nut time.
I remember this.
I remember that album.
I do somewhat.
Yeah, so I probably recommend start out with Selling by the Pound. Or the next one I give you, which will be soon.
Yeah. And you did start.
And that was stay tuned for that if you're tuning in now for whatever reason. Otherwise you can jump to wherever we talk about Genesis next.
Yeah.
I guess.
Great. So my number 5 then. And I went with No Use for a Name, who I have recommended before.
Yeah, I heard their big old hits compilation thing.
And you heard that one for a reason, because maybe they're not as much an album band for me. If I was going to say that, the album that I've most consistently listened to as an album was their last one, Feel Good Record of the Year. And I think it's a great one. This is where Tony Sly and his melodies influenced me as a songwriter, probably more strongly than anyone else influenced my melodies in the first at least 5 or so years of writing music for me. So that's obviously a pretty big personal impact. And I just fucking missed the boat because Tony Sly passed in 2012. He was only 41. Really sucks. And I never got to see them live because I found them in 2012. I did get to go see Lagwagon and hear Joey Cape play some Tony Sly songs, and that was great. But yeah, so anyway, I couldn't deny them a higher spot on my list at this point in time. It's still a very important band to me. And so yeah, I would, if I was going to recommend an album, it would be the same one I gave you, probably. Just, they've got like an album of almost like 30 songs of just like the hits or the singles or the best songs, whatever. And I think it's worth your time. I think the other one I named, Feel Good Record of the Year, is also great. Leche Con Carne was the one that I think really put them on the map. Like Soulmate got on MTV with a music video and stuff. But yeah, I dig them all. I also really like Keep Them Confused, which I guess might be seen as like a slump for them, but I really, really dig it, especially Apparition and Black Box and some of that shit. Just one of my favorite melody writers. So there you have it. If you have no comments, then it's on to your number 4.
Yeah, I remember liking a lot of the stuff on there.
Yeah.
I just don't really remember it because 30 songs is a lot to digest.
Right, and it's mostly this punk rock sound. So
yeah,
yep.
I still dug some of them. So my number 4 onto this new arrival for me. Quickly shot its way up. It's the Tubes.
The Tubes.
An 80s arena type rock. What's the word with how do you describe Queen? Like, operatic rock?
Glam? I don't
I don't
know
know about glam. But they are kind of glam too. I mean, the Tubes, not Queen.
It's so funny though, because I do associate Queen so strongly with their sound for some reason. Like when you said the Tubes, I was just like, "Don't stop me! Don't stop me!" And I was like, "That's not them." What did they sound like?
No,
again?
not quite.
Yeah.
No, because they use quite a lot of like operatic, like choir segments for like backing vocals.
Mm-hmm.
It's like call and response and that sort of thing. Very expressive singer too. I know virtually nothing about like the history of the band.
Mm-hmm.
So got nothing to offer there, sadly. But I'm definitely gonna check out like pretty much their whole albums just in time. Enjoyed the shit out of what I heard so far though. Always a bop. When it wants to get emotional, it'll smack you in the nuts. And they got even a joke song every now and then to keep the smiles up. But every member you can definitely hear contributing to definitely each album, each track, in spots for sure. In each different track. Yeah, I would still recommend Remote Control, the one we talked about here.
Right.
And if you want more, definitely give the Completion Backward Principle a listen as well.
Isn't it backwards completion? Or was no?
No, it's the completion backward principle.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna check. Let me just go do a scrolly.
You should know, but that just sounds wrong to me.
Yeah, the completion backward principle.
Interesting.
It's right there.
Are those only 2 albums you've heard?
Yes, so far.
Okay.
I've heard a few tracks from Young and Rich, and I do that's the one that I want to listen to next, pretty much, and then just keep on going.
Awesome.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Definitely recommend it if y'all are into Queen and want more of the styly type of presentation, I guess.
If that's your thing.
Very flamboyant.
Yes.
I guess if I had to describe it.
Yeah, I think you know what? That's a great word. for maybe what I don't enjoy as much.
What?
When we're talking about music.
A little like eccentric in its tone.
Yeah, I think I might like more like subtle and nuanced.
Sure. Yeah, you like the more subtler stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I think Menzingers is kind of out there for punk in the same way.
As eccentric?
In a punk standpoint.
I put like Billy Talent if I was going to choose from someone I named, but
I guess. You can say Billy. Yeah, Billy Talent and AFI was Sing the Sorrow, AFI in general, I guess as well.
But I can't think of the word.
But it's
they're very.
It's like doubling up on us, like sugar cookies.
They're very moody still. Both of those bands that you said, which is my aesthetic, I guess, musically.
Gotcha. They do have some emotional stuff, like Amnesia. Definitely kicks you in the nuts. It's big too, but like, just I don't know. You can get emotional when the wall sound hits you. You know.
Yeah.
Also on Remote Control, what is it? What the fuck? What's the stupid track? The ballad one at the end.
I forgot what it's called.
I remember the lyrics. Love's a Mystery. There we go. I remembered it. Yeah.
Mystery. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, subtle is definitely not the word that I meant, as you'll tell from. Obviously, I like Streetlight and shit.
Yeah, sure.
And Pup and shit. But I think I meant like more moody and
I just think
stuff.
they execute their concept so well. Like they're consistent, Yeah. It's like extra cheese, It's like how RA4 is cheesy.
Yeah.
It's fucking great for it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So my number 4?
Yeah.
Cool. Alkaline Trio. Here they are. And
they are.
And they're everywhere else too, on my walls, on my arm.
On your body, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew these guys were coming.
Yeah. You've also had to hear a bunch of them. Actually, yeah, a reason a lot of these bands haven't been recommended on here is you've already heard them a lot because we drove around a lot and I played them a lot, and then we saw them live a lot.
They're fun to listen to for sure.
Yeah,
definitely like a lot of their tracks.
So for me, I don't know.
Sadie's a really good track.
Yes, it is. And I guess I'll lead with that I started listening to them after my high school breakup. The girl I was with for 3.5 years, and it fell apart, and I was like...
And then you heard, shaking like a dog shitting razor blade.
I was like, that's me. That's me.
There you go.
That's me right now. Perfect.
I'm shitting razor blades. That was me earlier. Fuck me.
Their whole darker lyrical content and emotive edge to the punk music really drew me in at that point in my life, and I still love it to this day. I kind of started with Good Morning, and then I think from there, maybe From Here to Infirmary. Well, I started with Radio, but then I listened to the other ones all the way through. And the ones that I discovered later became my favorites, which are God Damn It and Crimson. But I would recommend everything from Goddammit to Crimson, to be clear. And then after that, again, I can't say exactly why, because I got into these guys later than most bands. I got into them in 2015 or something. But I haven't heard too much beyond Crimson, save for a few songs on each album, like Help Me and Calling All Skeletons, and I Want to Be a Warhol, and a couple other ones on that album. But I did their new album when that came out. I already forgot what it was called. Is This Thing Cursed? I listened to that whole album. It was in my rotation before we went and saw them live in 2018. And I dug that. So, yeah. Goddamn, it's probably my favorite. What would I say is like... Excuse me. What would I say is like the entrance album? I don't know. For me, it was Good Morning, so maybe that. If you just put that thing in and you're getting hit with the Matt Skiba having shit the bed and singing about jerking off to fire. And then later down the line, you get All on Black, and that's one of my favorite songs from them as well. So check them out. Good shit. Oh, and now he's in Blink-182, and we're getting less of their albums. Tier. Your turn. Top 3.
Well, you should know what's coming now. You know, we're in the final stretch here.
I know the top 3.
Threes. Yeah,
I don't know the order.
Know. I feel like you could know the order. Well, I'm gonna hit it with you anyway. Number 3, big old boy. It's Ween.
Okay, that was my guess.
Weenie.
Then I do know the top 3.
It's Ween, bitch.
Yeah.
Y'all like some fucking Ween? It's just a fun band name to say.
Ween.
But man, you feel like people will look at you weird. Like, you listen to Ween?
I dig Ween, for sure.
Oh, dude, there's something to dig out of them for sure.
I keep wanting you to throw more Ween at me, but I know you already did too. And I've maybe, I think I give Chocolate and Cheese a 6, so maybe you thought, oh, he doesn't like them as much anymore.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
not so. Definitely like Ween, but
Ween's one of those bands where it's like I got into them first and I really loved their shit, and I was like content with that for a while. And then I went and got more, and then I was like, damn, these guys are really fucking good. And now I'm content again. So later in the future, I will, seek out more Ween and then be content. The cycle will continue.
Please do.
That might be a minute.
I don't think they could ever be an album band for me, but...
Oh, they already are for me.
I know they are for you. It's just too much whiplash for me.
I've heard their big 4.
Which is their whole thing.
The Mollusk, White Pepper, and now Quebec and Chocolate and Cheese. And I can say, like, I don't think they're out of any of those, I would be like, I wouldn't want to listen to that. Like, all the way through.
Technically, I've also heard all 4 of those, but I only heard the last 2
and I guess
twice.
I guess that's what, like, is the criteria for this.
Yeah.
I guess. It's like... for favorite bands, at least maybe, yeah. Because with the other bands like Lower, it's just like, I could just put on whatever, And with Ween, at least for these, Genesis too, it's like what I'm picking is like a very distinct thing. I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing for Green Day too. I don't know.
Sure.
You know what I mean. You've heard the albums.
Yeah,
it's really hard to explain. It's got its own. Like each album's really got its quirks.
Yeah, and it shouldn't surprise.
And it's really its own taste,
Mm-hmm.
Like if each Green Day album is like, say, Dookie is a McDouble and American Idiot's a McChicken.
Yeah.
The Mollusk is like sushi, and Chocolate and Cheese is literally chocolate and cheese.
Yeah. I would say the Mollusk is like a really cool thing because that album's like they kept their weird fucking what you've come to expect from them on like Chocolate and Cheese and other stuff, but they made it like have that kind of more edgy and dark feel to it, and it's also about just a bunch of fucking sea critters and shit. So that's
it's
like
its own concept,
it's
but
one of the coolest
it's about
albums.
nothing as well.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a nautical theme type of album that just kind of throws shit at you, really.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly like it's surprising how they even fucking like came up with this shit. Like they just wrote it.
Yeah.
When they get emotional, they hit hard.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
agree.
reason this band, like if you're feeling it, like this band, we need another band on here. Just listen to this, you'll be fine. And brand new too, I guess.
They
Another one of yours that you're gonna name.
Yeah, they I was just well, this is yours. So.
Oh yeah, I was gonna just say the entry point. I definitely feel comfortable saying it's the Mollusk.
Yeah, if you want an accurate representation of what they're gonna be,
like that's your entry point. This is gonna be like, and you're either in or you're out. Really, you're gonna either be like, this is fucking interesting, or you're gonna be like, this is too weird. See ya.
Yeah, if you don't want weird shit, probably just go for White Pepper, which I've still not.
If you're not about it, like if you don't want to listen to it again, then listen to White Pepper. If you still want to listen to Ween.
Yeah, because I think that could be my favorite Ween album, but I've not let myself listen to it again in case you would ever recommend it. Ever since we talked about, or ever since like you moved back here, really, I think we listened to it through once then.
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
did.
this is good. And then I didn't listen again. So I might like it more or less than the Mollusk, but those are probably my two
definitely got in
favorite.
the White Pepper phase where that was one of the only albums I listened to for a long time.
Yeah.
I was in a real type of rut. So I only listened to 2 albums that whole fucking time, and that was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you're going to get it just because I don't know what I'd say about it.
Oh, really? I would think you had something to say from all that history. But yeah, I'd say those 2 are my favorite Ween albums that I've heard.
And I mean, yeah, out of those really
4,
solid. I mean, I only heard Mollusk and White Pepper, and I was like, that's it. That's all the Ween I need. I'm set.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Well, my favorite is probably Quebec.
Yeah, I knew that
I
had
think
changed.
That beat out, yeah. So maybe
Cool.
look at that as well. Anyways, they're all worth checking out. Honestly.
Perfect.
Because you can start with chocolate and cheese too, and
You could start with God
have
Remains Satan,
fun.
but you probably shouldn't. I heard one song from that album, and I was like, "Ow!"
Like, ow.
Yeah. Cool. My number 3 then. So this is where Streetlight is, all the way up here in my top 3. And for a lot of stuff you said. But yeah, I agree. They're definitely they've transcended the ska genre and made their like progressive ska punk. And it's the perfect blend of all kinds of insanity and na-na-nas, and
Oh, what if Streetlight went even more progressive?
maybe they will.
Like long instrumental breaks. And I would love that.
It's been a long time.
I would love the shit out of that. It's been a long time.
They kind of opened my mind to more progressive music in their own way because most of what I listened to before that was, every song was 2-3 minutes and fast punk stuff with not other instruments ever really, unless I listened to like Less Than Jake. So I was used to horns every now and then, but most Streetlight songs are at least over 4 minutes, usually like 5 or sometimes 6. And there's a lot of extended instrumental parts, not as long as you get in progressive rock that you're into, but compared to what I listen to, yeah. But like, I don't know, I grew to see how epic that was, especially seeing them live and mouthing all the horn bits. It's a pretty epic thing. And also you can't listen
It's a lot easier to do the horn parts than it is to do the wordy dirties because there's lots of lyrics that don't repeat.
Yeah, that's really cool too. You can slap you can't listen to them without slapping your knees. Those fucking drum beats. I don't know why.
You can't do it without slapping your nuts around.
Yeah.
It's also great for running too. Just do it. Just work out. Streetlight. You got 3 albums.
Streetlight also knew what to do with an orchestra, unlike Weezer.
Well, because their music is in there. It already has more members, so they have more parts that they can give out.
Oh yeah.
Weezer's like, here's a chord. Go nuts.
I just had to throw some shade at Weezer, even though
you deserve to.
Even though everyone likes OK Human, I think it's okay.
It's fine as a pop album, but like,
yeah,
as orchestras go, no.
And for what I want from Weezer, but anyway, Streetlight. I feel like I do have more to say, but
and Tokay. Just Thomas on guitar.
Oh yeah, I like all of their
He's a good fucking guitarist.
All
for damn sure.
Yeah, all associated acts I love. My favorite far and away is Everything Goes Numb. And I would say, I don't know. It might not be the easiest album to get into, but it is where I started. You can do it with some conviction. Better Place, Better Time, still maybe my favorite song of theirs. And yeah, check it out.
There's too many great songs for me to really pick a favorite.
Good shit. Oh, yeah, I love how they're lyrically, like, they don't really fuck around. There's always something like that clearly is being communicated that there's some conviction behind, and I dig that because I kind of got used to ska. It's like, haha, fun sound. So like, they're singing, she has a girlfriend now, or something like Real Big Fish, which has never been my favorite, but they're fun live. Like, their songs are good the first time you hear them.
Sing about bowling or some shit.
Yeah. So I really like that. They took this really fun, upbeat sound and made it something like more kind of seriously toned, which clearly is a recurring thing that I get out of music. So there you go. Your turn. Number 2. What do you got?
Number 2.
I know what you got, but
yeah, you know what I got. That's why I was paused. I was like, you can just say it.
The Beatles.
Yeah, there you go. You did it.
Beetle.
You did it. It's the fucking Beatles.
Secretly,
yes, I'm a grandfather. Like, I get it. I'm a dinosaur. But that's King Crimson.
I was secretly hoping Ween was here. I was hoping they somehow got their way up.
There's no way Beatles is gonna get beaten out by Ween. The rest of Ween's records would have to hit,
but
like as hard. Like Beatles is just so consistent. There's not really a bad record they have other than the Yellow Submarine. Even in the first half, I really dig. It's all the instrumental shit that's just like, eh.
I did read that White Pepper was, the combination of the White Album and Sgt. Pepper's as a nod to the Beatles.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Beatlesy.
Cool.
Like everyone said that.
Yeah, but like literally the title White Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
But even like the songs in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And it's funny that they're next to each other. So yeah, the White Pepper is the transition. So if you like White Pepper, then Beatles is going to be great for you. But like, yeah. What can I say? Probably one of the most influential bands in rock.
Yeah, music. If you liked Ween, you might like the Beatles.
Probably, yeah, the most well-known, like top number one.
Don't know if you've heard of them.
All the Rolling Stones magazines. Yeah, if you like and if you like Green Day, you like the Beatles.
Yeah,
like Weezer.
If you like any other band we've named, you might like the Beatles.
Lots of people haven't heard Beatles albums. Is a thing.
Yeah,
I started with them really in terms of like, listening to albums. They're my start, so they're pretty much like I guess, my fundamental in terms of like listening to music.
I feel like, yeah, Beatles is still what we all heard when we were kids. It's just for some of us it stuck more than others.
Oh yeah,
this is the first shit that I heard too from my parents.
They're the only band where I like really went through like their entire like song discography.
Right.
Not as versed now, but like I definitely could have like told you how any of their songs could have gone. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, also their history is really interesting too.
Yeah,
Like, each Beatle out of their own thing. Like, you probably already knew that Ringo wasn't an original member.
yeah, I did, and I knew the name of the other guy too.
Yeah,
But I forgot.
Pete Best.
Yes,
Yeah, and he's still
I won't
salty
forget that
about
every
it.
time I hear it.
He's still salty about it. It's really funny. Yeah, and they started out just kind of like a bunch of greasers too. And then they shifted into like their studio work because their live shows. Well, their last one was like in a stadium, and there was like so many like girls screaming, like they couldn't even hear each other.
Yeah, I heard
Like
that
with the tech at the time.
literally in my rock and roll history class.
Cool. Then I guess I don't need to take that class then, at least for that part.
Not for Beatles.
Not to learn. I can fall asleep on that chapter.
It's a cool class though. But anyway,
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
It's really cool to like learn about this shit, especially being taught.
It's cool that they put all that out and changed so much over 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. It was really cool to like see them evolve
Yeah, I mean,
because they pretty much came out.
if
With
they
an
had
album
another
each
10
year.
years, what would they have been? Fuck.
And also like as a kid, it was like so satisfying that like they lasted like through the 60s.
Yeah.
It was easy to remember.
Mm-hmm. Which I always forget. I always think they're later. I mean, I won't ever again now because now I've realized that. But
Yeah.
I always thought like, damn, 60s whenever I saw that.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess starting point. I mean, if you guys already haven't heard it, you can't really go wrong with Sergeant Pepper.
Which I haven't even heard yet.
As like a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I you're not starting. I get to just throw whatever I want at you.
I was starting.
My favorite. Fucking hell, that's so like tough. I feel like you could have asked me every year and it would have changed in terms of my favorite album of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, probably the White Album.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that one's just one that stuck, and I think that's the album I heard the most, like, of all time, maybe?
Right.
Don't quote me, I don't fucking know. I really dig Abbey Road. I think that's one of their better albums, too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it might be runner-up.
Oh.
Then Revolver's also great, and Magical Mystery Tour, son of a bitch. Fucking Rubber Soul, quit looking at me.
You did it.
Yeah, there you go. And we don't talk about Let It Be. It's fine.
Beditly.
It's fine. We don't talk about it.
Awesome. Is that it?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah.
Great. My number 2 is the Gaslight Anthem. Big personal impact again with this one. After I went through my Alkaline Trio phase, I went through my Gaslight Anthem phase. And I've never stopped appreciating them since then. I was still in that phase until probably around when I met you, when Streetlight became the phase. And I think I'm gonna say my favorite albums right off the bat are the first 2. Sink or Swim is probably my favorite, and that's like a random one probably to throw out because it is so different than the rest in terms of being more rough around the edges, and it's a bit I guess heavier, more punk sounding than the rest. They kind of started doing this like Americana kind of sound after that. The Bruce Springsteen-y stuff on the 59 sound, which is my other favorite probably. And then they went into just like a rock kind of hard rock thing on Handwritten and Get Hurt, which I recommended you way back in the day.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
American Slang was also like punky. The thing is, I appreciate and love all these albums, and not everyone does, because they are a bit different from each other.
I enjoyed Get Hurt.
Yeah, and that's probably the one everyone likes the least. And I said back then, and I still think it's still a pretty solid album. Not my favorite, definitely solid. Handwritten might be my least favorite, and I love some stuff on there. So yeah, I'm gonna recommend Sink or Swim or the 59 Sound. There's a reason you haven't gotten Sink or Swim at least, because it would probably have like the early Dookie thing going on for you. You're like, this all sounds the same.
Yeah.
But in the lower production quality of it. But that said, just a lot of these songs are about kind of being lonely or like an outsider or like going through a hard time in your love life or whatever, something like that. Or just, but I don't know, it's also kind of like feel good. It's like, it's kind of darker and more emotional, but it's like, hey, it's going to be all right. Like, it's like a nice Band-Aid. And that's kind of the perfect blend of what I needed for that time, and it still all resonates with me to this day, and I appreciate Brian Fallon's solo stuff, but I really want to get a chance to see the Gaslight Anthem alone, together again sometime, because I did get to see them, but I was going because Against Me was opening for them, and that's how I found them. Back in for the Get Hurt tour, which is right when they broke up after that. So, or went on hiatus, whatever. Anyway, love the band. And you guys get the point. I rambled a bit. So it's your turn. Number one. What is it?
Well,
I wonder.
mean, yeah, I fucking wonder. Honestly, this might be something that should change. I don't know. I'm gonna stay to questioning it. Still discovering new shit. But it's Pink Floyd right now.
So the Beatles could top them.
Still.
Is that what you're saying?
What's up?
Are you saying the Beatles could be on top?
I don't think so.
So all this
I
list
prefer...
could change. Okay.
Yeah, of course. So can yours.
No, yeah, it will.
I mean, yeah, all of it. But Beatles is probably going to stay number 2. Probably going to stay above Ween.
Oh. Yeah, I'm surprised.
They're probably both going to be above Ween.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised if like someone overtook this, it wouldn't just put like Pink Floyd down one.
No, I mean like the favorite band spot could really be like toppled over, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess there are a few that like so far can't be out of order. Who knows? Maybe the rest of Ween's albums are shit. But this isn't about Ween. It's about Pink Floyd. And I'm definitely one to prefer the whole progressive thing. And Pink Floyd is probably like one of the best bands to get into for getting into prog rock.
Right.
Yeah,
my mind was on Ween still, so I was like, okay, can't talk about that.
I mean, they got a pretty interesting history, like with Sid, and you know, their fallen member and all that, and like all the drama that happened behind the band. Like it's almost, and it's like just so reflective off of like their release. You know, like their early stuff is so one way, and then their big four, and then the later years that happen. It's all very like different sounding. Different parts of like the same band, you know, kind of the way that the Beatles evolved, changed their style a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like as fundamental as as Beatles. It was just kind of like different tones, different like music, the way it was written and all that. It's very interesting, and definitely you can get a lot out of really any album, not Final Cut, not that one, or Umaguma. They got some stinkers, but like they're really big ones. Hell, even like just their good albums like Metal, Atom Heart Mother, they really hit. There's some good stuff there. But yeah, I guess a place to start. Again, can't go wrong with Dark Side of the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best starting point, really. And then I say if you continue with like Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, it's uphill from there.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Easy place to start. Definitely, all those albums are worth revisiting in their own right. And then you got all the other ones too that are like good as well. By that, you got like 4 other really good albums.
My cats are
At least
holding
I think.
hands. Sorry. It's cute.
They're doing yin and yang too.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's surprised by Pink Floyd at number 1?
David Gilmour solos. Nut.
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 Yes. I guess I don't have much to add to Pink Floyd because I have only
You've heard The
I've
Wall
heard
and
2
Dark Side of the
albums.
Moon.
Yeah, I've heard 2 now.
Heard they're big boys.
And I enjoyed them both. I really enjoyed the movie though for The Wall. That's my favorite Pink Floyd thing that I've experienced, I guess. I don't know why I've been curious about Wish You Were Here. Maybe because I do enjoy the title track. I don't know what the rest of the album's like, but
There's not a bad song on that album. I mean, there's only 5, but for its entire length, it's all really good stuff, really consistent.
It's hitting. Great. So you'd
Shout out
recommend
You Crazy Diamond, easy, like top song. Echoes is another amazing song.
right.
Both long as fuck. I definitely like the long man stuff.
So
There are lots of hits on The Wall too. Everybody knows Comfortably Numb.
you'd pretty much recommend anything you talked about, I guess.
Everybody knows Hey You. Yeah.
Great.
Let's start with Dark Side probably, if you haven't heard it already.
Okay.
If you've already heard those 4 by chance, I mean Metal, Atom Heart Mother, good stuff. I love Division Bell as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's funny that you hadn't mentioned that yet, because when I met you, you said that was your favorite one.
It's the most different one. So out of the other one, like I heard,
Yeah.
it is really similar to Momentary Lapse of Reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Division Bell's a much better album than that. And we don't talk about Endless River.
Okay. Great. That's that, I guess. You're number 1.
There you go. You got all rapid fire their albums. My opinions on them. Not all of them.
I don't
like a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't believe that you just talked about that for 10 minutes, so I think I missed a lap, but that's okay. My number 1, Elliott Smith. Are we done? Let's be done.
I knew it.
Yeah,
We're done.
obviously. I've got my signed record on the wall, and I'm really happy with it. Either or, that is. The one that we discussed back in the day, my second recommendation to you, back when I found him. And a year and a half later, he's pretty much all I've listened to. And he's definitely cemented himself as my number 1. And this is why I needed to say musical artists.
Very solid stuff.
Man, neither of us mentioned Jeff Buckley at all.
I thought about it, but I was like, I only heard the one album.
He's only got the one album.
Yeah.
I would have thought that got him an honorable mention spot from you.
He can be in there.
But anyway, yeah. Elliot, I haven't heard a song that I don't like yet. There's a couple that I don't like as much as the rest, for sure. And, like, it's funny because I can count them on, like, one hand. Amity. I used to not like Cupid's Trick as much as the rest of either or.
I don't like Question Mark.
You don't?
No.
That's one of the ones, too, I would say, that I don't like as much. But, you did like that one before, though.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nah.
You told me you did.
Nah.
You lied to me.
No. I remember never liking it.
That's funny because you told me you did. It was back when you first heard EXO, though. What was I saying? Yeah, I used to not like Cupid's Trick as much as the rest of that album, and now I dig it. But yeah, so it's funny. There are a couple on EXO that I don't dig as much, and those are them. But yeah, it's kind of funny the arc I had with that one, because I think I told you back then XO was my favorite, and it's in the bottom 3 now, but he's only got 6 albums, I think. So I would say my favorite is still Either Or, but Self-Titled and Figure 8 are right up there as well. And
My favorite's still Figure 8. That's for sure.
oh yeah, Figure 8 is great. That's those are the top 3, I think. New Moon is fucking great. It's a compilation album of like 23 songs or so. And they're all great. And just, the rest of it, it's all good, all worth your time. Maybe save Roman Candle for if you like the self-titled album a lot and want something more similar to that raw kind of lo-fi kind of feel. But yeah, the melodies, the chords, the guitar playing is all,
The way he sings is just all buttery.
oh yeah, very smooth and buttery voice. It's all very pretty and very clearly, I guess, he's known to be very depressing and blah, blah, blah. But actually, his music made me feel a lot better at a time when I was really depressed. So
That's usually how it goes.
yeah. But kind of in a different way than like the brand new album did. That one's like, let's wallow in this, and Elliot is kind of like holding a hand out like, hey, I got you, bro. I don't know how else to put it. If you do want something that's a bit less like that, then definitely go for Figure 8. That one's like kind of like, if his albums were seasons, that one's summer for sure. Especially Son of Sam and
What's spring then?
LA.
What's spring then? Because spring's my favorite holiday.
What's spring?
Not holiday. Fucking
Well,
season.
you just said spring's your favorite holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought of
just
this.
let it happen.
I thought of this once before. I would say spring is Either Or XO. So yeah.
Nah. The Figure 8's my fave. And I don't... summer's pretty good. I don't know.
Figure 8 is
I
definitely
can dig summer.
the sound of
I'll
summer.
take it.
The sound of summer. Great.
Cool. Well, there you have it. There's 20 at least bands to maybe check out.
Less than
Sure.
20, but
Yeah.
close.
No,
Like
there's no-
17.
Well, there's more.
Oh, I mean, I guess if you're counting the honorable
Yeah.
mentions.
And other people we mentioned.
Cool. So we did it. We do plan to.
Now you took a peek in our head and music brain and all that for bands.
Yeah,
There we go.
we do plan to revamp these lists whenever this podcast ends. At least that's what I want to do. By these lists, I
I'm
mean
gonna watch mine have no change.
definitive shit like this is what I mean. Like this and like our favorite games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
blah,
so
blah, blah.
Be tuned for that. It's
Yeah.
like the big old
When this podcast ends next
the
week.
big old
No.
looming thing. Yeah, next week. So stay tuned next week for our favorite games.
No. But actually stay tuned next week for discussion on Coraline and you forgot you recommended that.
Yeah, I did.
I forgot you recommended it too. But I'm looking forward to watching it still.
Awesome.
And Nirvana's Unplugged album.
Interesting stuff.
Let's blow out this candle.
All right, that's it, everyone. Bye-bye.